was listening to Kulthum, the amazing singer, and he started, I asked him about if he liked the singer, and he was telling me what he was doing. And of course, I arrived home, I finished the chapter.
How are you going to move on now from the Locust and the Bird and your mother's story?
Well, I'm writing a novel.
From what journey?
Now I'm interested in the subject of exile, immigrants. This is
Specifically in a British context?
yeah. Not the British and French, because I go every year for 3 months to the south of France. So, yeah, the subject of immigration, and especially what's going now on in the world, not only in England, but all Europe, and the Arabs are just, wanted to leave their countries and come and live anywhere in Europe. And also what's going on regarding the abyss between East and West is, I feel, it's widening politically, and I'm interested in that subject. This is what my novel is going to be about.
Bloomsbury are publishing an anthology of young Arab writers from across the Arab world.
Yes, 39.
How aware are you of the literary generation that's emerging?
Well, I try to follow as much as I can, and I feel that there are many amazing voices coming and emerging from the Arab world.
And if you would pick just one that you would like to introduce or get more widely known in Britain, say, who might it be?
I have to think about it.
While you're thinking about
Actually, I like the Egyptian Muhammad al-Busati a lot. Muhammad al-Busati. I think he's a brilliant writer. He writes about Egypt. He writes about the countryside, the reef in Egypt. I like him to be translated and published in a big way.
Clear message to you. We have 10 minutes or so for thank you very much. We have 10 minutes or so for a wider conversation if anybody would like to ask questions. The sound here is pretty good, so if you have a question, you can just put up your hand again. Yeah.
And on the subject of the memoir generally in the Arab world, at the London Book Fair last year they had a focus on the Arab world. And there was a whole session on biography. And an Egyptian, quite famous humorous writer, was saying how he wanted to put something disgraceful about himself in his memoirs. And he got absolutely castigated, by people. How can you shame your parents and so on like that? I mean, do you think it's changing? And what sort of perception did you have about your book about your mother within Lebanon, say?
I was really astonished because from the reviews, the most important thing for the reviewers that they were complimenting my courage, talking about my mother, the poverty, mainly the poverty. It was very important that one could talk that my mother was poor.
That must be sexy in a way.
I couldn't believe it, honestly. They were so amazed that I could talk about her humble background, or my humble, in a way, my humble background. But at this second came the issue that my mother was, she had this relationship with her lover while she was married to my father. And I want you to really, I want to surprise you by saying, in Lebanon, in the Arab world, and especially in Lebanon, the reviews were all, they were enchanted by my mother. They felt for her because she was forced to marry my father when she was only 14 years old, and she gave birth to my sister when she was 15, and to be engaged to my father when she was 11 years old. They felt with her in Lebanon and in the Arab world. And they didn't forget, even, I mean, in the book, she became a little bit spoiled or selfish or whatever, also because she left me and my sister. But they didn't forget that the way her family forced her to that. But in the West, I was really surprised. Many would tell me, oh, your mother was so selfish, she really cared for material things. And I would say, well, she was like a teenager. She didn't know anything. Of course she wanted to be selfish, to think of herself. Of course she wanted to think of her ribbons. Who doesn't? When you are 15 or 16, of course you wanted to steal, and I mean, no, you don't. You don't have to steal. But my mother stole because she wanted to buy this and that, and my father was very strict. He was like a Sufi. He only believed in wool. He wouldn't like her to wear any silk or any cotton or anything. So in a way, she was right. And in Lebanon, they got it. I remember in one of the radio programs, all of a sudden the interviewer said, to be honest, I didn't like your mother much. She was very selfish. And I said, no, I want you to really like her. You have to put yourself in her shoes, in her place, and feel in a way, admire her, of course, but feel sorry for her at the beginning, and then admire her. I mean, she really, while I was writing the book, and not when I was talking to her, but while I was writing the book, I said, now I got it, of course, my mother, I was following her steps, yeah, of course. I mean, I inherited many things from her, saying no at an early age, because she said no to her family, to the traditions. I mean, my mother was ostracized from her society because she dared to say, I cannot live with this man whom I was forced to marry. And when I was 14 years old, yes, I have a lover, and yes, I want to marry him. And not many women. We're talking about 40s, in the 40s. And this is, you know, it's not done by women, Muslim Shia women.
Anybody else like to ask a question? Yes.
Arabic is a notoriously difficult language to translate.
Yes. Yeah.
Could you say something about your relationship with translators and what you think the main pitfall is?
Yes, you're very right. It's very difficult language to translate. But I think after 9/11, there are more people who are interested in the Arabic language, and there are many good translators. But the way I do it with my translator, I have to tell the story sometimes. It's not important only the sentence or the paragraph. The story behind that sentence or that paragraph. I'll give you an example. For example, in The Lotus and the Bird, my mother was saying that she was afraid that the hyena will come and pee on their legs, and then will take them to a cave and eat them up. And then the translator translated it exactly the same. But my editor, my publisher said, but why, I don't understand why when the hyena pees on